I guess back on track. Studs and duds. So let's talk about that. So there was very little in the Falcons that I would like to say that was good, but I'm going to give it the studs to the Atlanta Falcons defense. I think they tried to keep us in the game. I think the Saints are a better offensive team as of right now than us. So the fact that we only held them to what? Was it 21, Nicole? Yeah, 21-18?
Yeah.
The fact that it was only 21-18 is not too bad, all things considered aside, especially because it's a divisional game. But again, it could be better. I think Drake London did, as much as he had that crucial loss, he did well. He had a lot of receptions, and you can see that chemistry building with Desmond Ridder and Drake London. So I do like that. Duds, honestly, this is a tough one. I think the whole team as a collective could have played a lot better. I think for Rashaan Evans, that's something that stands out. He had a real stupid penalty, I remember, in the game. That definitely kind of changed the momentum. I don't want to say Desmond Ridder because it is his rookie first game. What's that called? Sophomore game? Would that be considered? What is that? Freshman game?
Graduation.
Freshman game. Yeah, that's his freshman game. It's against a divisional rival, which we don't usually do good against. So throw him to the fire if you want, right? But there's not much else you can really do there. But honestly, the duds is just the team in total. They weren't working collectively. There was a lot of misfire, and I'm not giving an excuse to why we lost this game, but D&P is also being out for the game due to a collision, I guess, in the warm-up or whatever, where he got sent to the hospital. That's not something you necessarily want to see before the game. So, that easily could change the momentum, but regardless, an L is an L. So, yeah, we just need to be a lot better. But, Nicole, who's your stats? Who's your duds?
Oh, boy. Well, I got a stud for you. You may not see him in the light, not like a quarterback, and not like a wide receivers getting all of that limelight. But I'd like to bring the light to this special team. And on that is JT Gray. He's number 48, defensive back. The reasons why I covered him is because there was a really great play where Blake Gillikin ended up punting it, and he was able to run all the way and stop it at the 1-yard line. I think that's a really great determination and drive.
It's always good to do that.
Yeah. And so he's agreed to the terms with the New Orleans Saints for a 2-year contract extension in March 2021. Yes. So we'll see where that takes him. What can I say? He was awesome. I like to watch him go. My dud, it was really hard to pick, but I was like, who's ever covering Algier? But I realized he's a running back. So then I was like, okay, let's take it back here. And I looked at the coaching staff again. And there's the co-defensive coordinator for, I think it's more so it broke down in the secondary. So with Chris Richard there, I think we should have been getting, he was getting through way more than I think he should have, especially covering up those holes, as I know what kind of defensive team we have and had in the past. Yeah. So in this development, in this week 15, we shouldn't be doing that, especially if we're going to be going up against the Eagles in 2 weeks.
So, that's scary.
Yeah.
Hopefully you give them an L.
Yeah. Let me call him.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Actually, you know what? You mentioned something too about the punters. Mr. Foobs, do you remember the punter that we took from you? What's his name again?
Bradley Pinion.
I will say right now, Bradley Pinion is probably my favorite signing. He's good. He's a good punter, man.
He's good. We just didn't want to pay him $4 million anymore, so we had to release him.
We can keep him forever. Like, I love that guy. He is great, man.
Lifetime contract.
Oh, absolutely. Like, honestly, he is so good at what he does, man. Like, more often than not, like, everybody has a flop kick, but man, Bradley Pinion, oh, buddy. He nails into that 10-yard line more than I want to think about. Like,
you wait till he has the game where you're just like, what the heck is this?
Every punter has the game, though, in all fairness.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
But
it's when they have it.
Yeah.
Don't you play Tampa at the end of the year? It's like all of a sudden. All of a sudden.
Punch the ball.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'll say this right now before we move on. even if we don't win the division, if we win the last game and stop Tampa from winning the division, I think that's equally fine to me. Honestly, at that point, I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, well,
Wait, do all divisions play against each other in their last week?
What is it?
Well,
Panthers and Saints?
Not always.
our division, so like all the teams within their division will play each other in the last 2 weeks, I believe it is, but
Does
the
that
last
always
week
happen?
for sure. They just did this, I think, a couple of years ago to
Yeah.
allow
What?
like more competitive games and,
Yeah.
and stuff
'Cause
like
we're
that.
all playing against each other last week.
Last year,
Wow,
Yeah.
I never knew that.
last year, Washington's last 5 games were Philly, Dallas, Giants.
That's disgusting.
That was
Wow.
the last 5 games. All
That's
All
disgusting.
very important games too.
right.
I wanted to state, speaking of extension, congratulations to the 2 Oiler peeps in the group for Stuart Skinner's extension.
Great contract.
Gotta
Great
love
contract.
that. Guys all happy to be in Edmonton buying a house and stuff. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
My stud is actually one of the teams in here, and it's for a very completely different reason. The stud is the Saints. The Saints. Good job on the win, because now the more wins that you get, not only the better chance that lights the fire under our butts for the Bucks to start winning more games, because we'll lose to the Falcons and we'll lose to the Panthers, but by gosh, when the Saints come to town, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
So props to you, and you're my stud of the week for winning, because the further that draft pick falls for the Eagles, the less commotion we
Please.
can have
Yes.
in
Yes.
the draft.
Please. Yeah.
Please.
The more money we can make. The further away from that top 10 spot the Eagles draft, the better it is for me. So I give you props for that. And literally, that is the only reason, because I couldn't find a single stud on anybody's team this week, because let's just face it, we all kind of suck right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Speaking of my dud, it goes to a Canadian. Chuba.
Oh.
They literally traded the roadblock for your starting position out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do that, they give it to the guy they signed for a 1-year contract
From the Falcons.
from the Falcons. Practice squad.
Yep.
What's going on, eh?
Eh?
What's going on, eh? I honestly, I got you in Dynasty. I got you Jersey. I got your. I respect the crap out of you because you're Canadian in the NFL, and I always will. But man, come on,
But
what is going on?
take that as you will, though. I will give coaching the fact of that one. You know what I mean? They're not the Panthers aren't all put together right now. They're very much in a rebuild, and they're not trying to hide that in the closet.
They're in a rebuilding with a chance of playoffs, though.
I know.
And they're and he's Canadian. That's what I'm saying. Why are you just giving in, man? Don't just give in. Take that lead back position. Because watch, Carolina will be drafting at number 8, and they're going to go for another running back again, and it'll be Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Which I'm good with. I'm good with it.
I
You
will
running,
take that.
don't you?
And that's something. Actually, that's something, because a lot of people we got to remember, we do have a young quarterback that on our bench in Matt Corral. Yep. Matt Corral, before he got hurt in college, was on he was on the Heisman train. Everybody was talking about him, and then the injury stopped him from playing. So we still have to see what we have in that.
Where's Matt Corral from? Sorry.
He's from Ole Miss. He's from Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Oh yeah.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He was a first-round talent, and then the injury dropped him to the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Was he before or after Sam Howell?
He was before, because Sam got in the 5th.
Okay.
Where's Sam Howell from?
See, and I always thought Sam Howell.
North Carolina, let's go.
I kept thinking Sam was taken in the 5th round.
Well, you know what? I mean, look, if he would have got picked up even the year before, he potentially goes top 10, because he had that talent. But the thing is, he also had NFL type talent with them. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams.
That's all you need right there when you got
right,
those two running backs, right? Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Javonte in college was so much fun to watch.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
And both of those guys were 1,000-yard rushers. You know what I mean? Now the receivers, Daz Newsome and De'Ami Brown, haven't really taken off yet, but those runners are, I mean, they were legit, and he had all of those guys in his playing on his offense. So, hey, we'll see, man. We'll see what he does, man. We'll see what he does.
Now,
but look,
sorry. I was going to say, I just wanted to take a quick moment to appreciate what I saw in that Commanders game on Sunday night by a guy named Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
What a steal.
That's a dual-headed threat. That's literally Chris Godwin 2.0 that you have right there.
No, let's take a step back.
What's his name again?
Jahan Dotson. Not only that, let's go a step further. He is the new and improved Deebo Samuel.
Ooh.
That's where he's at.
Because
Curtis Samuel,
Curtis is the one that does more of the running, but Jahan is like, I watched a couple of those plays, and I'm like, he's a little bit more stout, and he does look miniature at times, like I've seen a couple of these guys say, but it's the fact that he literally is like a snake. That if a defender sees the ball coming up this way and he's defending him here, all of a sudden, De'Ami Brown, he's beside you.
Yeah.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense what I saw out of this kid last night or on Sunday night. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. I just wanted to give you a quick shout for the Commanders.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That was a pick, buddy. Like, good job.
It was a great play, man, and shout out to him, man, because he definitely has raised up there. I know Samuel is our number 2 technically, but Samuel's kind of better in the slot. Jahan just catches everything, man, and that was the scouting report on him coming out of college. He just catches anything in his radius. Such a huge catch radius, and he's got speed. And I mean, you talk about last game. We go back to the game 2 weeks ago because of the Giants. He catches a pass over the middle. And this defender has him straight in his sights, like was ready to blow him up. And Jahan hit that circle button and just whoop and spun around him and scored. And we're just like, wait, what? It's like that. So, okay.
Also, shout out to Alex, because when we did our off season, we were going over all the college players and stuff. That was like his number 1 favorite wide receiver. He's like, if he goes to Detroit, I'm not mad. He's like, if Detroit spends a first round pick on him, not mad.
Yeah. Absolutely. And after the trade with you guys, they gave you guys Olave. We've been moved back. Right. So then we've been moved back and ended up picking up Jahan. And I'm not gonna lie, Will and I will say it, we weren't thrilled about it. We were like, dude, this guy's tiny. Like, who is this guy? Da, da, da. But they kept saying his hands. And it's shown. Look,
would you have taken Olave over Dotson?
I wouldn't be upset with either. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be upset.
You would have been more happy at the draft, probably.
Definitely. Now, mind you, at the draft at that particular time, I was eating a whole all-you-can-eat a crawfish special, so I was happy as is. I was just happy we didn't get a crappy quarterback. So my stud, real quick, my stud is I'm gonna give an honorable mention to my quarterback, Sam Darnold. I was watching back in that game. He actually did not look bad. Nope. And maybe I have this expectation of him always kind of messing up. But the beginning of last year, they went 3-0 earlier in the season because Sam Darnold was running and throwing the ball. Like, he was doing great. So he can do it, and he kept them in that game. But he still only had 225 yards. He still was 14 of 23. So he wasn't anything that jumped off the page, but it was just better than I thought. But my stud was Jeremy Chin, 14 total tackles, 11 solo tackles with the touchdown. He was the only one who seemed to be able to, him and Brian Burns, the only two they seemed to be able to tackle Najee Harris. I mean, he was definitely getting Najee and bringing him down. But my dud is the Carolina running backs. We talked about Chuba. We talked about, what's his name? The backup Foreman. Thank you. Yeah. And then Darnold, 2 carries, 2 yards. We had 16 carries between them for 21 yards.
disgusting.
The 4 of us can do better than that. Okay,
Yeah.
like this is ridiculous. Like you can't, right? You know what I
Don't
mean?
let me in.
Right.
I'll get
I got a
crippled,
couple
man.
plays.
I'm
I got a
down, though.
couple
I'll
plays
do
left. You can go to Oregon. Your eligibility will still stand out there. So I mean, honestly, yeah, those are my duds, man. You cannot win football games if you don't have a running game. The Steelers were running all over us, and that is the only thing that we were not able to do. So, yeah, those are my duds on that one.
Well, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.